Welcome to the Brant Phillips Show, the show dedicated to results. Now, here's Brant.
Welcome, everybody, to the Brant Phillips Show, the show that is about one thing that we all want, which is results. So what we're going to talk about today is appreciation, gratitude and appreciation. I'm going to try to share an experience that I recently had and how this ties into how it's so important, why it's so important to appreciate the things that you have in your life. Because you see, my friends, what you appreciate in your life appreciates, it increases, it expands, and it gets even better. So some of you may know this, that I'm a pretty active guy. Take my fitness and my health pretty importantly, not just for health and fitness reasons, but what we experience through our body impacts the rest of our life. How we are showing up in our body, in our health and our fitness, it is my belief that impacts other areas of our life. It affects not only our health and our fitness, it affects how we show up in our relationships with loved ones, with our kids. It absolutely affects how we show up in the business world. Because you see, as business people, as businessmen and businesswomen, as real estate entrepreneurs, we're going to constantly battle fears, adversity, setbacks, problems, pain, whatever it is. And if you are conditioned, if you've conditioned your body and your mind to endure these types of challenges and to endure pain physically, like if you know how to deal with pain physically and you experience like whatever it may be in the real estate world, it's typically insignificant compared to things that are going on in your body, right? And so to me, my health and fitness is incredibly important, and I make it a point to continually have some type of new challenge or new adventure or something to just kind of push me to get to the next level and just to stay sharp and keep the edge, because it's so important. My friend, it's so important to keep the edge in life, because if you're not moving up in your life, in your business, that means you're either on a plateau, which means you're going flat, and that plateau is only going to go down, or you're essentially dying. And one of the mindsets of a successful, thriving business is you have to be growth-oriented and growth-minded and always looking up and looking for growth, ways to grow and expand. If not, you're dying. And I believe the same is true for us in our bodies. And so one of the things that I recently did was I competed in an Ironman this past weekend. It wasn't the first time. I competed in a full Ironman about 3 years ago, and I've done a couple of half Ironmans since. So if you don't know what an Ironman is, it is essentially a full day event. The pros don't take nearly as long as guys like me do, the novices out there. But what it is this. So you start your day, well, you get up, you start your day about 4 a.m. is when I woke up. And you have to get out to the Ironman site. And all of this preparation starts depending on the type of training regimen that you have. Some people train for this for a year to compete for this one day. Okay, on average, people compete a minimum 3 months, but most on average is about 6 months of training leading up to this time. Getting closer to the event, there's a lot of things you have to do. Get all your gear ready, prep ready. You have to be at the race site a couple of days in advance to get all your gear coordinated, et cetera, et cetera. Race day comes, you're probably up at 4, you get to the grounds around 5, and start preparing for the race at 6, like getting in position, and it started at 7. So what is the actual race? So the actual race is a 2.4 mile swim. This is an open water swim with thousands of people around you. So the entire swim, you're getting hit, kicked, you're kicking with your feet and someone's hitting your feet. You're swimming with your arms and you're hitting someone next to you or in front of you. It throws you off and you're sucking in lake water or ocean water, depending on where you're swimming at. And I've done it in the ocean. I've done it in lakes as well. And it's a 2.4 mile open water swim. I don't know what else much to say about that. And it's is whatever it is that you make of it and what you train for it to be. After the swim, that's how we start our day around 7 a.m. Get out of the water, you make your way to the bike. So everyone has a bike, and we after that, you go on a 112-mile bike ride. 112-mile bike ride. I don't know how many cyclists there are out there. For some of you, like, well, that's not that big of a deal. That's a 5 to 8 hour thing. But that's really what it is. It's a 5 to 8 hour thing on average. For that average novice Ironman competitor, it's about a 7 to 8 hour thing at least. So you finish the swim, you go on this 112-mile bike ride, and I've done it through mountains. I've done it in 108 degree heat on blacktop roads. I've done it in high wind, and it's not easy, my friend. Let me just say it's not easy, especially coming off the heels of a 2.4 mile open water swim. So you go on this bike ride for 112 miles, and only then one of the running jokes is that's your buy-in into the race. After you finish the swim and the bike, that's your buy-in to get into the race, which is the final part of the Ironman, which is a 26.2 mile run. That's right, my friends. You finish the Ironman by running a marathon. So, depending on your training, your age, your experience, your skills, this is it's a full day event, right? So there's a 17-hour cutoff. So after starts at 7 a.m., people who don't finish by midnight, they don't get to call themselves an Ironman. And a lot of people don't make that cutoff time, and but a lot do. And so that's what I went through this weekend on Saturday. I finished my second full Ironman. And, I go through challenges like this, whether it be an Ironman, things I've done with SEALFIT, with MMA, with CrossFit Opens and things like that. One of the things that I found that's very useful for me, and it's what a lot of my mentors and great leaders have done, is just block out time, if not every day, every week, to spend some time journaling and writing down and sharing some of your thoughts and takeaways from your life and from your experiences, right? Hey, this is Brant, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. If you're at a place in your life or your business where you just feel stuck, or you just don't know what actions to take to help you get unstuck or onto the path to creating the results you truly desire, please take a few minutes and go to my website, brantphillips.com. There's some really valuable resources and information that may be able to help you out. And if you're interested in really speeding up results with the help of a coach and mentor and adding true accountability and guidance to your life and business, please reach out to me from my website as well at brantphillips.com, or going directly to www.brantphillips.com/coaching. Now let's get back to the show. As I sat down to write and recollect some of the thoughts that came to my mind during that day, it was just a few days ago, there were a couple of words that just came to my mind, like stood out more than anything else. And it was gratitude and appreciation. And so, yes, you can only imagine during, for me, it was a 14-hour, almost 15-hour day is how long it took me to complete it. And you're not allowed to have headphones. There's no cell phones. There's not, you don't have your little iTunes going the whole time. There's nothing like that. It's just you and your thoughts for the entire day. So I had a million thoughts, as you might imagine, about business, about my family. You have some time to think. You have the time to think about a lot of things. So I had a million things running through my mind throughout the day. But the thing was, right now where I'm at the time when I was sitting down to journal, was really just this feeling of gratitude for the blessings in my life. And I'll explain why I think that was the case. Is because so not very far into the race, into the bike ride, you start experiencing pain and discomfort and like, man, what the hell was I thinking kind of thing. And I didn't train nearly as hard for this Ironman as I did for my first one. It just takes so much time, right? So I didn't train nearly as hard. And so I was on this bike ride and I saw a tandem bike with two guys on the bike. And the guy on the back was blind. So they ended up completing the entire race side by side. I later saw them on the marathon. And they were like, they had like a little rope that were connecting them together. I'm not sure how they did the swim, but it was simply amazing. So I was like, man, like I've got so much to be grateful for. And it took me thinking about, should I even be doing this Ironman thing? Some of you have heard me tell the story about many years ago after I had my third knee surgery and I've had 2 ankle surgeries and all this kind of stuff, that I spoke to multiple doctors, and the last doctor I spoke to told me essentially that I had the knee of a 70-year-old man who lived a hard life, is what he told me. He said, you should stop running. Absolutely, you need to stop CrossFitting. You need to stop doing all the stuff that you're doing because you need a knee replacement. Maybe not now, but in the very near future. He's like, so you need to just stay off your knee, no more running, none of this stuff that you're doing. He was basically telling me to like shift down and go into old man kind of mode is the way I took it, because I was like, late 30s kind of thing. And and I believed him. Like I took it to heart. I said, I gotta like listen to this dude. Like I've already got arthritis. But you see, my friends, I made a decision. To determine what was going to be truth in my life, right? So we have like information like that we can receive, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to be absolute truth to us, because see, you can be told that you need to have a job and invest in your 401k and things like this, and that people tell you that, and like you can accept that as truth, or you can listen to someone like myself that says that job having a job is insecurity. It's not secure at all. And that the greatest way to experience the most out of life is to follow and pursue what is in your heart, right? So that is truth to me. So I made a decision to go after experiential truth. And I'm like, let me just experience what competing in a half Ironman would feel like and how my knee would feel like. Here's the thing that I've experienced, and since he told me that, that's when I went on my journey of competing in 4 Ironmen now, CrossFit Opens, SealFit, MMA cage fights, all the stuff that I do. After that time, none of it was before, because see, I after taking this time, taking a year off, after the doctor told me that, I said my knee still hurts, right? Like I still have arthritis. Like not doing the things that he told me not to do. So therefore, if I do them, I will likely still have that pain. So why not do them and experience life? And guess what? The pain now, as I've built up muscle and endurance and tissue, I don't know what it is, but my knees do hurt. And I have good days and bad days, but they hurt drastically less than they did from before. So I was going through these thoughts during the Ironman of just immense gratitude, right? And appreciation to even be in that spot. And then later on in the race, more pain's coming through, right? And more just battling some of the, like these thoughts like, what the hell am I doing here? Maybe I should quit and all this kind of stuff, just like, this is hard. Why did I do this? And you battle those, right? On and off throughout the day. But I later saw this, a man who was at least 15 years older than me, maybe even his 60s, I'm not sure. And he was pulling, looked to be like a teenage boy who was disabled, assuming paraplegic is what it looked like. And I'm assuming it's his son. And that man swam the same 2.4 miles, ran the entire race, rode the 112-mile bike, ran the 26.2-mile marathon, pulling what I'm assuming his son through each step of the way. Very similar to the Dick and Rick Hoyt story. If you haven't seen their story on YouTube, I highly recommend that you YouTube the Dick Hoyt story. Incredibly powerful, about a man who carried his paraplegic son through the entire Ironman and did this actually for years and years and years to come. It's a powerful story, but I saw this man doing the same thing, carrying the weight of another person, I'm assuming his son, through this 140 total miles during an entire day with essentially no rest. Was absolutely humbling to me to see this and consider this man's determination and really the love for his son to take him on this journey through however long it took him, 16, 17 hours. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure that he finished. So any thoughts about my issues or my discomfort and my injury? And I suffered an injury that day and I'm still experiencing it now. I've got to go to the doctor tomorrow. But they're absolutely minuscule issues compared to what I saw these men go through and many, many others throughout the day. And like I said, while I've been through other Ironman events and other physical endurance events, and a lot of these events trigger just some really deep takeaways for me and insights and inspiration. This experience to me was really humbling, and the recurring thought that I had was just the thought to remember that I have so much to be thankful for: my health, my family, my team here at the office, and just the ability to do the things that I would not be possible to do without the people in my life and without life in itself or health. And so here's getting really to the point of this podcast, my friends, is that each day is a gift. So I encourage you to appreciate the gifts that you have in your life. And and I know some of you are going through struggles, you're going through challenges, you're going through maybe job loss, maybe depression, maybe like addiction, whatever you may be going through, struggles in your business. Appreciate what you can appreciate. Appreciate the things that you can appreciate, because understand this. I learned this from a good friend of mine years ago. A very simple statement, but very powerful. What you appreciate appreciates. What you appreciate appreciates. That means it increases and it grows and it expands. So even if you're going through a time and it's hard to find some things, find some things to appreciate, because they will grow and they will expand. And what you appreciate appreciates. So like I said, a lot of things came to mind during that particular day, during that Ironman. But these are just a few things that I wanted to share with you, some things that I journaled about, and that's what I wanted to share on today's podcast. And lastly, to say I appreciate all of you, my friends, for taking the time out of your life and out of your schedule to listen to this show. And I encourage you to go out and take action. Appreciate the things in your life that you can appreciate. Go out and create results. Take action. Take massive action to create the results that you desire in your life and in your business. And with that, I'm signing off. This is Brant Phillips, and I wish you all the best.
You've been listening to The Brant Phillips Show. To listen to past shows, get updates on future shows, and find other resources or information about coaching, visit BrantPhillips.com.